For months, Hollywood had been buzzing. Red carpets glittered with flashes of Dakota Johnson's enigmatic smile, often caught alongside Sam Heughan's towering presence. The tabloids called them the unexpected golden pair. Fan pages stitched together grainy photos of the two walking through airports, exiting hotels, and sharing cryptic looks at award shows. The world wanted a love story. But what the world wanted, and what Dakota and Sam were actually living, were two very different things. It began one spring evening in Los Angeles, not at a glamorous party, but in a quiet, dimly lit lounge tucked away in Laurel Canyon. Dakota had slipped inside to escape the usual madness, the agents, the photographers, the endless, suffocating chatter about what she should be doing with her career. She wanted silence, whiskey, a moment to breathe. And then Sam appeared. He was alone too, oddly enough. The Scottish actor, still glowing from his Outlander fame, had been fielding scripts that all seemed to want him to be the same man, rugged, romantic, heroic. He craved something different, something real. Their eyes met across the room. It wasn't lightning, it wasn't fate, it was, instead, curiosity. Two people recognized in each other the same thing: exhaustion. Dakota raised her glass. Sam mirrored the gesture. And then, just like that, conversation flowed. Funny, isn't it? Dakota said, swirling the amber liquid in her glass. The more you give them, the more they take. Privacy, identity, even love, all turned into a headline. Sam chuckled, but it wasn't humor that lined his voice. And sometimes they invent the headlines before the story even exists. That was the night they struck their unspoken deal. Not love. Not passion. But something mutually useful. Dakota needed someone who could protect her from the suffocating narrative Hollywood was writing for her. Sam needed someone who could help him step out of Jamie Fraser's shadow without disappointing his fans. Together, they could be each other's shield. When the first paparazzi photos hit the tabloids, Dakota and Sam laughing on Melrose Avenue, his hand on the small of her back, the internet went wild. New romance alert, blared the headlines. Fans flooded Twitter. I ship them. The chemistry is insane. They're perfect together. Perfect. Yes, that's what everyone saw. But behind closed doors, in the stillness of Dakota's Hollywood Hills home or Sam's quiet rental in London, the truth was far different. They laughed, yes. They confided, yes. But every time the whispers of love hovered, Dakota would look away. Sam would clear his throat. And silence would settle between them like an invisible wall. One night, months later, Dakota said it aloud for the first time. This isn't love, Sam. Sam didn't flinch. He nodded, his jaw tight. No, but it doesn't mean it isn't real. And that was the paradox, their truth. What they had was something genuine in its own way. Companionship, understanding, a secret alliance against the world's expectations. But love, no, not the kind the world wanted to see. Yet secrets never stay secrets in Hollywood. And one night, at a gala in New York, the illusion nearly cracked. They arrived hand in hand, dazzling under the chandeliers. Dakota wore a shimmering silver gown, Sam a perfectly tailored suit. Cameras exploded in flashes. But inside, while champagne glasses clinked and violins played, Dakota overheard something that froze her. Two executives whispered near the bar. Ideographic period, Johnson and Heughan. Oh, it's brilliant PR. Keeps her in the spotlight, keeps him relevant outside of Scotland. Genius move from their teams. Her stomach twisted. Was that all people saw? A move, a game, a contract written in glances and half smiles. She excused herself, found Sam by the balcony, and asked the question that had been clawing at her chest. Do you ever feel like we've lost control of our own story? Sam turned, his expression shadowed. Maybe, Dakota. Or maybe we never had control in the first place. That was the night she realized the danger. Not of falling in love, but of never being allowed to tell the truth. Because the truth wasn't beautiful. The truth was messy, confusing, and heartbreakingly human. And Hollywood hated that. The illusion was working, almost too well. Every magazine cover, every interview, every leaked paparazzi shot of Dakota Johnson and Sam Heughan fueled the narrative that they were Hollywood's newest golden couple. Their names trended daily. Their supposed romance was dissected like scripture by fans. But for Dakota, the attention was suffocating. Her phone buzzed relentlessly, texts from friends, cryptic comments from colleagues, even sly remarks from her mother, Melanie. So, darling, is it serious with Sam? Dakota always replied with vague deflections. How could she say, it's not love. It's not what you think. Sam, meanwhile, handled the circus with practiced ease. Years of press junkets had taught him to smile on cue, to deflect with humor. When asked about Dakota during interviews, he'd grin and say, she's a wonderful woman. Very talented. We have a lot of laughs together. Every word true, yet every word incomplete. It wasn't that there was no affection. There was. They trusted each other, leaned on each other when the cameras weren't flashing. They cooked dinner together sometimes, shared late-night walks, confessed secrets they'd never dared say aloud before. But there was always that invisible line. Dakota felt it in the quiet moments, when their eyes lingered too long, when his hand brushed hers and she pulled back a fraction too soon. Sam felt it when her laugh echoed in his chest like a melody he'd never forget, yet he knew it wasn't meant for him. They were close, but not in love, and yet, to the world, they were the love story. It was during a promotional event in Paris when the first real crack appeared. They were on stage, fielding questions after a charity screening. A journalist with sharp eyes leaned into her microphone. Dakota, Sam, you two have captured the world's imagination. Everyone is asking, when will you make it official? Engagement? Marriage? The crowd erupted in cheers and applause. Dakota froze. Her practiced smile wavered, just slightly, but enough for Sam to notice. He stepped in, chuckling, disarming the tension. Oh, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're just enjoying each other's company. Laughter from the audience. Relief. But later, backstage, Dakota confronted him. "You handled that too easily," she whispered. Sam raised an eyebrow. "Would you rather I told him the truth? That we're not in love, never have been, and it's all a beautiful illusion?" Her breath caught. She hated how he said it, not cruel, not mocking, just resigned. As if he'd already accepted the prison they were both trapped in. And then came the text. That night, as Dakota sat in her hotel room, her phone vibrated. A blocked number. The message was simple, chilling. "Pretty story you're selling. Shame if the truth got out." Her heart pounded. She reread the words a dozen times, every nerve screaming. She called Sam immediately. He answered groggily, his Scottish accent thicker in half-sleep. "Dakota, what is it?" She read the message aloud. Silence stretched on the line. Then Sam said, low and certain, "Someone knows." The next morning, they met in the hotel cafe, both pale, eyes ringed with sleeplessness. Dakota slid her phone across the table. Sam studied the message, jaw tightening. "This isn't a fan," he muttered. "This is someone close. Someone who knows the truth." Dakota's voice trembled. "What if they expose us? Everything falls apart. The ridicule, the headlines, our careers." Sam reached across, his hand covering hers. "Then maybe it's time we decide what story we want to tell. Before someone else tells it for us." She looked at him, really looked at him, and for the first time, she saw not just the man who had been her shield, but the weight he carried. The quiet loneliness. The longing for something real. And in that moment, Dakota wondered, had they spent so long pretending not to be in love, that they'd blinded themselves to what was actually happening?